One big problem that is destroying Nigeria that I hate talking about, is this issue of ethno-religious prejudices. That is, you know, the political class most especially, trying to weaponize ethnic and religious sentiments just to divide and rule. It is a sad thing that a lot of Nigerians, the masses, have bought into this. So they see it, oh, this is my own, this is my own, even though they are not benefiting anything from all this nonsense. I've always said it, that the country you benefit you, it's not the one that your tribesman or whatever is president or governor or anywhere. The one that will benefit you is when people who has the capacity and the will to work, that is the one that will benefit you. So a few days ago, Mr. Bayo Onanuga, the special advisor to President Bola Tinubu on information and strategy, said that some people are after Tinubu because he is from the South. The statement is very, very clear, trying to weaponize the North-South divide. Because, of course, we know where he was pointing his fingers to. Because even at that event, he was responding to the complaints of marginalization of the Arewa Consultative Forum. And part of the things he said there was that President Buhari got 2 terms and that they should allow President Tinubu. Yes, Mr. Onanuga, but you are talking nonsense. President Buhari got 8 years, 2 terms, because he was voted by Nigerians. And nobody is stopping President Bola Tinubu from going for a second term. There is nowhere in our constitution that says a president must get 2 terms. All is said that one person will not get more than 2 terms. It is not a must that you must get 2 terms. And Tinubu can contest election. If he wins, that's good luck. But if he loses, he goes sit down for a house. It's as simple as ABC. But that is not even my problem here. That is not what I came to talk about. What I want to talk about here is that Southern solidarity that Onanuga is trying to whip up. And I'm trying to ask, where is it coming from? And how did he attempt to achieve that? How well has the President Bola Tinubu treated even the other regions in the South? And that is what I want to hear. Now, we are going to look at the appointments in the South. Because that is the crux of the problem. That is what the Arewa Consultative Forum are complaining about. Now, President Tinubu has, in the Southwest, has 10 substantive ministers, that is senior ministers, right? They are petroleum, solid minerals, communications, power, finance, interior, blue economy, education, industry, and youth. Then states, they have 2, that is health and environment. The South has 3 substantive ministers, that is aviation, FCT, and regional development. And they have 3 ministers of state, that is petroleum oil, petroleum gas, and trade. So then the Southeast has works, then science and technology. And they have 3 states, labor, foreign affairs, and finance. Let's not forget that President Tinubu has a total, if we add the petroleum which he occupies, he has a total of 49 ministries. Unnecessarily large at a time we should be reducing the ministries. And I am very, very sure there is none of you out of this 48 or 49, there is no Nigerian that can point out 5 of them that are doing fantastic jobs. There is no Nigerian. But that is another story. Now, if you look at the things I just read, the Southwest which is still President Tinubu and Mr. Onanuga's region, has 12 ministers, out of which 10 are substantive ministers. And then if you look at the Southeast and the South-South, put together, they have 11 ministers, out of which 6 are junior ministers. That's a minister of states and 5 substantive. That is, the ministers in the Southwest region are more than the ministers in South-South and Southeast put together. Mr. Onanuga, how do you people, what kind of solidarity, South solidarity, how do you want to achieve it? You can imagine if the Constitution did not say that at least a minister should come from each state. You can imagine what a Bola Tinubu would have done. In fact, 95% of his ministers would have come from the Southwest. And here we are. We want to weaponize regional North-South divide. We have not talked of other appointments, so like IGP, CBN, FAN, immigration, custom, and others. We've not talked about all those ones. In fact, the presidency just announced the elongation of the tenure of the current Controller General of Custom, Bashir Adeniyi, who is from the Southwest, by 1 year. Adeniyi was supposed to retire August 31st, 2025. Now, there is the Deputy Controller General, Okafor, a woman from the Southeast, who still have 1 year in service. With this arrangement, Adeniyi and Okafor will retire at the same time in 2026, thereby depriving Okafor the opportunity of becoming a Controller General. But the sad part of it is that the person coming behind Okafor is also from the Southwest. And you want to whip up Southern solidarity. Where is it coming from? Mr. Onanuga. But these are the same people. When President Buhari was in power, they complained about generalization in appointments. But the truth of that was not true. I remember how many times I wrote about this thing when Buhari was in power, trying to that there was no time in for the 8 years President Buhari was in power, that his home state of Katsina got more appointments than states like Lagos and Ogun. There was no time. There was no time Buhari's Northwest region had more appointments than the Southwest. There was no time. I challenge anybody to tell me I am not correct. Then we start the debate from there with facts and figures. Buhari was never in charge of appointments for the 8 years he was in office. I doubt if President Buhari picked up to 5 people on his own for that 8 years he was in office. The Vice President, Professor Ochibanjo, was in charge of appointments. Now, other people are complaining, and genuinely, these are things we know. They are not hidden. How have you treated the people of the South? That is the South, and the Southeast. How have you treated them? Even if we are to do that, how have you treated them? There is nobody. And I'm looking at you. I'm not against anybody. I'm not against any tribe. I'm not against any religion. No. My own is just to speak the facts. And for those of you who think, oh, you are from this place, these are your people, they don't give a damn about you. Look at Tinubu's appointment. It's about his clique, the same people he has been with, Nagang. Like Ali Baba and the 40 Thieves. It goes nowhere. It's not even concerned with now. The situation in the country doesn't know your tribe, doesn't know your religion, doesn't know your state, doesn't know your region, nothing. So I'm not here to attack any tribe. I'm not here to attack any religion. I'm not here to attack any region. I'm not here to attack any state. I'm just here to lay the facts bare the way they are. Because that is what I love doing.